Trying out the 48 acrylic paint set from Kmart. I'm just going to do a canvas from Kmart, and this is my cat drawing at the start. I'm going to actually paint it in soon with these paints from Kmart. They were $22, very cheap. Starting off with the white from Kmart, and we're going to mix it with some black because it's like a white and grey cat. It's going to be a cat, by the way, guys. So I'm going to get the black out. And I already got paint on my hands, so bear with me. Okay, I'm back, and I'm going with the carnation pink for the nose. And I got these all from Kmart, by the way. Comes in a pack of 48 colours, and you get like metallic colours in it. Different pinks, different reds, different yellows. So I'm going to go with the baby blue for the eyes. Okay, so that's my palette for the moment. But yeah, so let's get started. So I'm going to rub this out. I have the eraser, and I'm going to just rub out the nose and the eyes so I can paint over the top of it. And this is just a rough sketch, as you can see. Just a rough sketch. It's good enough so you can start something, start the process off. And I'm just going to do this in a series of videos put together. And yeah, I just had a look at the reference. So now I'm going in with some white. And I'm just going to mix it in with the black to make a grey. And I'm just testing out these colours. So far it's quite, the opacity is quite light of the paint. So you really got to go in and add more paint to thicken it up. So a bit more paint, maybe a bit more white to make that grey. And we're looking like something like this kind of grey. And I go in with a little bit more because it's a very light coloured cat with very light grey fur. So I'm going to go start off, and I just like flick the brush up like that, as you can see, just to create the fur. So I'm just going to do that now for a minute. Go in with some light. Drag it across. Sorry, that was my dog. Shush, Bobby. Sorry, he was in the background. I'll just be back. I just got to let the dog out. Just moved the camera in a bit closer for you guys, so you can see. I'm just going to go in with that. You don't have to be neat. See, look. And it's not going to be like, oh my god, I made a big stroke and it's a mess. You don't have to be neat with this because it's fur. So, just going in and giving like maybe a bit of shadow underneath his head. And maybe a bit more black. You know? A bit more black for the under his head. A bit more shadow. That creates a bit of depth. And going through the chin. It's kind of like outlining the picture. And we could go in and do the mouth. And I might just get a thinner brush for the mouth. Like that. A thin one. And just that. And just go in. I need a steady hand. And he's shaking a little bit. If your hand shakes, you can hold your hand like this. Just like that. And so that's mouth done. And, well, it's not finished, but you see there's a shadow underneath there. And it's got the mouth and the fur's starting to come out. So we get some more white. And I'm going to start with the nose now. So I've got some white and the pink, the carnation pink, which I think is a good pink for the nose. And I'm just going to lighten that pink slightly with a bit of white. So it's kind of like a light baby pink, which is what we want for the nose. And I'm just going to go in just like that. Okay, so this is how it looks so far. Not finished, but it's starting to get there. We're starting to see the face come out. And I think I want to do the eyes next. So I've got this, what colour do they call it? Baby blue. I've got this baby blue here and some white. Just going to mix it in. Maybe use a different brush. See, don't do that mistake and use that brush because that brush is dirty. So use a clean brush and get the blue and mix it in with a clean brush. Some more blue. And we really want to thicken that paint up because the paint is very light. It's good for pouring art, I reckon. I recommend you do it for pouring art because it's very liquidy, the paint. Yeah. And so just use this thin brush. I'm going to go in and do the eye. It's quite good for light colours if you want to make a wash colour. He has quite light blue eyes, so this was working really well for his eye colour. I might just darken some of it around the middle or the edge of the eye, just to give that more solid colour. Mix it in a little bit till I like it. And you can get a cloth and just smudge that in so the strokes aren't coming out. See how I got the strokes out? So I just could use a cloth and just smudge that in. And so now the strokes aren't really too big and smudged in a little bit. And I'm just going to go in with another bit of black. So I'll just get this black, put it on the on the plate, and I'm just going to get a little brush for the eye, maybe that big. Just dip it in, and this is going to be the pupil, and the pupils are like oval shaped, so we want to make it elongated, like an oval shape. So you just do that, and you do like that. See how I did that in 2 strokes? We don't want them big pupils because a cat's eye has very small pupils. And so now I'm going to go in. I think I'm going to actually start with the background so I can get an overall picture of the cat. We've started off the face and it's looking quite good, but we need to go in with the background. So I'm going to go in with a cyan blue, and I might mix that in with the baby blue just to make it a little bit lighter. Yeah, so I'm just going to grab this blue in the middle and pour it into that. Ooh. And I'm going to just mix that together. I think that will make a good background. Maybe a little bit more baby blue because that's quite dark. And you can use a lot of this for the background, this paint, because the background takes up a lot of colour. So make sure you use sparing amounts for the cat, but when it comes to the background, use a lot of paint because you don't want to run out of paint as you're going for the background. And I'm just going to get a big brush like this for the background because I don't want to fiddle around with a little brush for ages. And I'm just going to go like this. And again, some people like to make their background neat. I'm not a perfectionist, so it doesn't, you can see the brush strokes, but it doesn't matter to me. But yeah, some people like their art quite neat. But I just go in like this, and it's done in 2 seconds for me, and it's not a rush. It is a rush, but it's not. I'm not rushing it too much because I want to get the cat to look detailed. But with the background, you can do it in 2 seconds. Just go up and down, across. And see how I'm not bothering trying to fix it up or go over it with a roller like most people do, because I feel like that's just taking up too much time. Art's supposed to be quite fun, and for me, over-realistically doing it takes the fun out of the painting for me. If if I were to copy it and do it photographically and try to copy it like an AI would, then you would think that would be very basic, to be honest. So I just like to do mine with brush strokes, and you can see the brush strokes in my work when you're finished, you know. You can tell artists by their work because they have different brush strokes and different styles. Whereas if you had AI, it's all computer generated, and all the works will look the same. So, yeah. And that's such a beautiful blue. You'd say to a computer, choose blue, but they wouldn't know what blue to make the painting out of as well. Yeah, so now we're just going to go over with that blue again and just go over the edges. Again, it doesn't have to be too neat because we're trying to get the fur. We want the edges like rough because the fur is going to come in. So I think I'm going to go in with that baby pink for the ears with that white that's mixed in. And just put that in the ears. And then get that white. And we're going to mix it in with the black. Maybe actually some chocolate brown, just so we get some brown in the fur. And probably need that, you know how the cats have that M shape on their forehead? Probably need to go in with an M for its forehead. So chocolate brown, and some white, and just keep going and mix that. Should have this color. And you don't have to have that color, but that's the color I'm going for. And I'm just going to go in and make an M. It doesn't have to be a perfect M because it's fur. So it can be a really messy M. And might just go in some white. Soften the edges. Some chocolate brown. Some brown. give him like a tabby kind of color actually, because although he's furry, he's got like like a tabby color and a reference photo, and so he's got like bits of brown, bits of grey in his fur. And see how like there's a gap in the brush? When you do that, you don't have to fix the brush up because that will create like fur, and you just do that across. And you go like that down here. The drier the brush, the more the fur will be like textured. And use the light. Just smudge it in a little bit. Some white over here. And no stress about this. Like, painting is supposed to be cathartic. It's supposed to be relaxing. You know, you don't have to be a professional. No one said you had to be a professional. Am I a professional? No, just a self-taught artist. So, it's a learning process. You just do it as you go. And I'm going to have flowers on the head, so I'm going to use this bright yellow shimmer. And I'm just going to get a round brush with that. Dip it in. Go in the middle of the flower. I think I want the flowers to be a red colour. Actually, I want them to be a magenta. So it's like a dark red, but it's kind of purple mixed in. See, that colour's good. Bright red. And I'm just going to go in with this small brush again. Get it evenly coated on the brush. I'm just going to go in with the flower. Drawing the petals. just gonna mix some white with that flower there. I'll just mix it in with the red magenta. So I've got like a lighter. Hang on, I just need to mix it a little bit more. So like a lighter pink color. And so now we're going to do the whiskers. So I'm going to get some white. And some black. And just a very thin paintbrush. Just get the black. Mix it in with the white. And we want a lot of white to black. So 90% white and 20% black. And just mix that in. So we get like a little, like a light grey. And just brush those whiskers in. See the whiskers are coming in there. And you don't want them too thick, the whiskers. Thin lines. Okay. Just like that. And just gonna go in with some white, maybe some brown, chocolate brown again. Just stir it in. And I'm just gonna make some more fur. So I'm gonna go like a light brown like that. Just like this. Just create some more fur. Maybe some more white to thicken it up. And if you make a mistake, you can just rub it off like that, because I had some pink in there. We're going to get some more white. And I made another mistake. See, I did the flower wrong. Just gonna dip some water. like you have to be a perfectionist. Only when correcting stuff, but you know, paint is easy to come off. You know, it's easy to remove. So when you're doing a painting, you can be as messy as you want, and you can just get the cloth and remove whatever mistake you made. Hey, some dark bits of brown. And some lines. And if you want it to be lighter, just go over with white and wash over it. And just bring it textured. And I'm just gonna speed run the rest of this painting for you guys.